Hi guys, welcome back to another channel, Copperplate Basics with me. And in part 1 we did the basic strokes as I've mentioned here. Today we will do one important basic stroke which I did not do yesterday because I wanted to explain that stroke. That's a very important stroke and it is used in a lot of letters, so you have to get that stroke correct. Let's begin and see how we work on that. So here I have made an oval. This oval sits on a 55 degrees slant. Okay, it dissects both part of the oval into two. Okay, the left side has shade, the right side is unshaded. Now how do we get this shade? If I demonstrate it with a pencil, you start from here and you don't start with the shade immediately. Once you start from here, you start your shade here and release your pressure here. So this to this is known as the full pressure zone. Full pressure. Okay? How do we get that pressure? Let's see. If you are new to pointed pen, this is going to help you. So we start here and I'm putting pressure and I'm releasing pressure, and with the same non-pressure I'm going right up. Okay, let's do this again. I am starting here, zero pressure. I am applying pressure, releasing pressure. Pressure is released and I reach the top. Okay, so what did I do when I started from here? I did not press. What happens when you don't press? When you're not pressing the nib, it goes normal and then the tines open. As you can see, this is your pressure, full pressure zone, and slowly you remove your pressure and bring it back, and then you go up like that. Okay, so this is no pressure, then this is full pressure, and then you release your pressure. Okay, you are supposed to have your pressure only till here. Okay, so we start again from here, zero pressure, and then we put full pressure, and then I release my pressure before I reach the bottom. Okay, now once you do the oval, there are a lot of letters that we can do with the oval. Okay, before that there's a drill that you need to do. You release your pressure, full pressure, and then release your pressure. Release your pressure, full pressure, release your pressure. Release, full, release. Once you do this drill a couple of times, you will get the pressure sensitivity of the nibs and you'll be able to control your shades better. Okay? Now, once we do this, we can start with the letter formation. This is the entry stroke. This is the shaded oval. And which are the letters that we can make with these two? We enter half shaded oval and exit and we put a dot here. This makes our lowercase c. Another letter is entry stroke, half oval, exit stroke, and E. Now do not get confused with this stroke. If you make an oval, your oval should end till here. Okay, this is the part of the exit stroke that we did. Okay, the entry stroke. But since it's coming in the last, it's called the exit stroke. Okay. Now there's naturally the O. We put a dot here in O. For C we put a dot here. For O we put a dot here. And then we make the half exit stroke there, which also happens to make an oval. If your exit stroke is too thin, or too flat, it will not make a proper oval. How to analyze your work? When you make your letters, analyze it like this. Okay? If you know that the stroke is correct, you know your practice is correct. If you think that your letters are not forming properly, go back to the drills. I will show Copperplate drills later on. First we will do this and then we'll go back to the drills. Okay? Because without knowing the strokes, you cannot do the drills. Okay? Now with the same stroke, we do the entry stroke, the dot, the reverse oval, a dot, and an exit stroke. What is happening here? Normally with our oval, the shade is on the left side. For the letter S, the shade comes on the right side. So when you make an oval like this. But when you make an S, you make it like this. Keeping the basics straight. You have to have the full pressure zone and you have to leave the gap before you take your turns. Okay? Be mindful of that. Now, we did the entry, the oval, and now we will connect it with the underturn. Every stroke is made of an oval. Can you see this? If I shape this part, this is going to be an oval. Okay? So which are the letters we can do with this? We have the entry, the oval, the underturn. Okay? Please understand that all the lowercase letters are done in the X height. Okay? I had explained the X height in part 1, the ascender loop and the descender strokes, the lines. Please follow that. Okay. Now another letter that we have is entry, oval, and your letter D. Normally the loop letters go to X. This is X, this is 1, and this is 2. But D and T are an exception. They do not touch 2. Okay? So here is, this is your underturn, which touches the waistline and the baseline of the X height. This is an extended underturn, but the exit stroke sits at the waistline and the baseline only. Okay, you will see how this happens when you do the structuring. Okay, another formation, entry, oval, and this time the descender loop. Now just like how we released our pressure for the oval here, we do the same with the loops also. The loop is x plus 2. Okay, so you take full pressure until you are supposed to reach the bottom, and then you release your pressure. Take a unshaded loop up till the baseline, and this is your exit. Okay, how do we know that this is the correct one that we are doing? Turn your paper upside down. If your descender loop looks like an ascender loop and vice versa, then you're doing it correctly. Okay, another tip to how to check your work. While I do these, I will keep giving you tips as to how we can better our work. Okay, and if you want, you can share your work on my WhatsApp group, or you can send it directly to me if you have my number, or else leave a comment. I will leave the link of the WhatsApp group below. Okay, so which are the letters we can make with this? We make the entry, the oval, the full pressure, release of pressure, and exit, letter G. Okay, now there's one more letter in Copperplate which many people get confused with, is this letter. Entry, oval, the loop but not touching the descender 2, and exit. This is lowercase q. Okay, now what is happening here? Just like letter D that does not touch the ascender 2, the letter Q and letter P do not touch descender 2. Okay, the understanding of the strokes are the same. You have to release your pressure before you take your turn to move up. Okay, so here I've gone a little further. Ideally I should have stopped here, and this part should have been unshaded while I take it up. So let's do this one more time. I take the entry, the oval, I release the pressure, go up and exit. Now you can see the difference. You can see the difference. I released it too late here, and I released it on time. So this gives a very aesthetic look to your letters. Copperplate is all about aesthetics. You cannot give up on that. Okay? So today we did letters O, A, C, E, S, D, G, and Q. Let me know how you like this. In part 3 we will do more of the lowercase letters and their connections and where the shades are. I hope this is helpful. Please leave a comment below how you like this series. Do like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.